Well, greetings, Cap fans, and welcome to episode 261 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm Rick Verbanis, and I'm your host. I've got a co-host. You know his name. It is Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob, none but the mighty Thor could call me stout. 'Tis but my muscles that have grown more round.
Like it's almost like it could be me.
I know, right?
Yeah, indeed. But I don't think it is me. I don't have that accent or a deep voice like that. So
Ah,
yeah.
all right. Well, do you recognize the quote?
Could it? No, I don't. I don't recognize the quote, but is it Volstagg?
It is
The
Volstagg, Bob.
voluminous?
It is the god of girth. Yes.
Yeah.
And it actually is the very first line of his in a comic book.
Oh my gosh, that's an old comic book.
It is. It is from Journey into Mystery 119, which came out in August of 1965.
Wow, it predates us, my friend.
It does. So yeah, I thought it would be good to do that because why, Bob?
We are covering Captain America and Volstagg, the one shot.
Yeah. The out of the norm kind of weird tale, kind of weird pairing, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a comic you had read and you said, Rick, we should cover this. And I checked it out and I actually really I did. I enjoyed it. So that is what we are covering today. But yeah, I think that would be great, right? If our muscles just grew more round.
Yeah, that way they sort of match the belly sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, So Volstagg. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. Bob, how's things going with you?
no, pretty good, Rick. Pretty good. I had a little surprise in the mail today, though.
Oh,
Apparently,
did it come in a private brown wrapper?
it did not. It did not.
Okay.
Not this time. Not this time. So I posted about this in the group, and folks want to go back and check it out. But has this ever happened to you, Rick? Have you ever ordered something like a pre-order and then just completely forgot about it in the intervening months?
Not too often, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice little surprise.
yeah. I think some folks in probably our listeners or some folks in the group have probably had that experience where like they put in a pre-order and it's just been an interminably long time before the item ever actually produces and ships. And so today something like pops up on my doorstep and I'm like, what the heck is this? And then like vague recollections as I open the package, and it's this action figure, Mezco Toys,
Uh-huh.
Captain America Silver Age edition figure.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really, I was like, one, surprised, but two, I was also surprised because apparently I didn't read the description of the product when I did pre-order it because I was expecting sort of like a full size
Mm-hmm.
figure, like like the 1/6 figure,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a 1/12. So the box was relatively small, and I'm like, well,
Ooh,
how
okay.
did they fit that in this box? And then it says, of course, 1/12 on the box, but it's pretty nifty.
Mm-hmm.
I just hoped it'd be bigger.
Ah, that's what she said.
Yeah, but it has lots of great. It's got lots of heads on it and hands, and it's
Mm.
got a little mad bomb
Lots
and
of head, lots of hands on the head.
lots of
That's
hands
great.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So it's neat. I hope somebody else gets one and they open it so I can see what it looks like. Because I'm not gonna ring.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm a box opener,
Yeah.
as you know. In fact, I am staring at a shelf that has all these Funko Pops on it.
Oh, the Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The great thing about those boxes, like you could take them out and put it back in and close the box, and it acts exactly how it was before. Like nothing has
Right.
changed. You know,
Yeah.
you're not ripping anything, you're not pulling tape off, you're not, doing anything like that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Just can't do it. Just
mm,
can't do it.
I did like the pictures in the Facebook group. So that is I liked all the different head sculpts on it. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like a neat little figure. I like that the head with the cowl off, so
Hmm.
you can see Steve Rogers' face, and it was just kind of neat. So
I liked it because you said it was a Silver Age, right? I liked a couple things about it. One, it had a the trunk on the outside of his uniform,
yeah,
so you got to see that.
yeah,
And then there was wrinkles in the arm area. So like when
right.
he was moving, like there's like a wrinkle on the uniform.
Yeah,
So I
nice
kind of like
detail.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You never see that.
yeah. Well, one of
Um,
these days I might take it. Who knows?
hmm. So Bob, if people are listening when this episode comes out, is October 15th, and there's a few birthdays. You want to hear
Who?
about them?
Yeah, of course. Whose birthday is it?
Well, number one, it's my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. Vinny Coletta. Vinny Coletta's birthday is on October 15th. So he's a fellow Libra.
Yeah.
And then the day after, Joe Sinnott,
Wow.
another great inker.
Yep.
Both of those guys inked Jack Kirby for the longest time. And then also on the 16th, Colin Kelly
Wow.
of the Jackson Lansing and
Yeah.
Colin Kelly
Half the
duo.
hive.
Yeah. And then 2 days later, October 18th, Steve Epting.
It's a banner month.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So some great Captain America and all around comic book creators having some birthdays in just a span of 3 days there. I
Wow.
am in good company.
You are in good company, Rick. October, huh?
Yeah.
Halloween's right around the corner, man.
January was a busy month.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So uh, Halloween.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you already got it planned. What are you doing in the cul-de-sac? Don't give it all away. We have a couple more episodes to
Oh, I
talk about
know.
this.
I'm just trying to figure out if I want to like get dressed up this year. Like I normally don't. Like best is like a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
Hmm.
And I think I told you about a year ago, my wife ordered me a Captain America. I wasn't going to call it a uniform, like from China,
Hmm.
like one of the really nice ones. But it was like, you know, oh, my wife, God bless her. So,
Well, a couple years ago, she reached out to me about would you like the captain uniform, and she got you that,
yes,
and but it was too tight.
it was way too tight. Yes, that was like we lived in Asia. She knows that the sizes are like two sizes smaller than what's printed on the label. So it
Hmm.
was, I needed some help getting out of it, Rick. It was embarrassing. So and it wouldn't be any better now, I can assure you of that,
Have your
so
muscles grown rounder?
exactly. Yeah, I should go as Volstagg this Christmas. This Halloween. So
uh, oh,
I don't know.
I could join you and be of the Warriors too.
Yeah, Warriors too. Man, I would
Yeah.
love to do it. I got to get up the gumption.
Yeah, it'd be cool. We could get Casey could be Lady Sif,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
that's true.
Bobby could round us out. He could be Fendril,
Federal, right? Sure. Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
I would be the dashing one.
yeah. Fenril is a
Oh, Hogan.
dashing one.
Oh, yeah, I would
Yeah,
be Fendril. He
you're
would
the
be
grim
Hogan.
one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull off Grim if you paid me,
No, probably
right?
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you think dashing is in your wheelhouse?
Uh, you say that like it's a question. So
No,
you
not at
think
all.
dashing, do you? You know what? We're gonna have this conversation later in the episode. So,
Yeah,
um, oh, and by the way, we have a special guest next episode. So make sure you stick around, and we will talk about that at the end of this episode. Of course, if you are a member of our esteemed Buy Me a Coffee patrons,
yeah.
you already know who the guest is and have submitted some questions. So, and if anyone's interested in that, if you just want to, hey, if you just want to, chip in, help us out, because we have what
Uh,
like 30 people who
yeah.
help us out.
I thought you were gonna say because we have needs. That's where I thought you were going with that. It's getting a little awkward.
We have expenses.
We do. You
We
have
have
expenses.
we have
Yes.
expenses.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can always check us out at buymeacoffee.com/. Cap Comic Fans. And, we're not asking for to do this and for nothing. I mean, we got perks, man.
Yeah.
Like you get
Indeed.
perks for supporting us. One of which is probably the coolest thing is this what would Cap do challenge coin. You get this after supporting us for a few months. And then a couple other things like I said, you get to ask questions to our guests. You get to um, be in the no waiting line on the Facebook pre-approved
Hmm.
posts, and because we know you're gonna consider what would Cap do before you post anything.
Of course. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of other cool stuff too.
Yeah.
So check that out at
Rick,
that
you know what I think
website.
is I think most people don't fully understand the magic of the What Would Cap Do challenge coin. So, as you've pointed out many times before, you get one of these when you're a patron, right?
Hmm.
Um, but who else has these?
That would be our guests on our show.
Yeah, all these amazing creatives and writers and folks that have focused on cap academically or and writing about the mythos. I mean, it's a whole cadre of folks out there that you share this in common with. Guys like Mark Wade and James Straczynski and the Hive Mind and Garney. I mean, on and on and on, right? The
Hmm.
big talents have this, and you can too.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think yeah, it was just a your sneaky way of sneaking in the word cadre. I think you were
I
like,
do.
I'm going to show off.
I love that word.
Idea.
Yeah, I
All
was
right.
cadre. That's what we called ourselves at the university I went to when you were like the upperclassman in charge of the freshmen. That
Mm.
small team, that cadre that trained the freshmen. I have a T-shirt that says cadre on
I was so right
it.
when
Yeah,
I knew that you were just finding a way
it
for
doesn't
that
fit,
word.
by the way.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very, very tight. I wouldn't be able to breathe. I'd be wheezing.
Speaking of guests on the show, we had a guest on about a month ago, and it was um, Rob Weiner,
Mm-hmm.
right? The editor of a Captain America book, and the Captain America and the Struggle of the Superhero,
Yep.
and um, we had some several comments in the YouTube and Spotify and Facebook group, and I wanted to share this one. This one is from James Cole, and he wrote, "Guys, this was one of your best episodes, and that is high praise because most of your episodes are great. Most, James, come on."
I was basking in that. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, I guess they can't all be great because if they're
yeah.
all great, then
Just
it's
Rick's just used to getting validation from me, but like, see how much I crave it.
uh, and on a week where there has been so much horrible and tragic events and things happening, spending the 90 minutes with you four, and that's because we had Steve
Yeah.
Rogers on the show as well. Um, the knowledge Rob has and the passion he shows is intoxicating and enjoyable. Thank you for spending your time and energy to take our minds off everything that is going on around us and to see there is hope out there and good people also. So, again, thank you to all three of you allowing us to spend fun and good times with you.
Wow. That makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it, Rick?
It does. It
Yeah.
really
I
does.
mean,
So,
that's why we do it. So
mm-hmm. Yep. Actually, my response to James was, "Thank you, James. While Bob and I have a lot of fun doing these, and would likely do it if no one listened, it's heartwarming to know we can help share the inspiration that is Captain America and remind everyone there are good people striving to do better."
yeah. Well said. Well said.
Yep. Uh, Bob, we should probably get to today's episode because I would say I maybe a handful of people maybe have read this comic, so I think they're all itching to get to this one because I don't think anyone has ever read this issue. It's just a one shot in a series of one shots by J. Michael Straczynski, and it's a pretty cool idea.
I actually I hate to say this, but I haven't read them other than this one. But I really do want to check out the there's a one shot with Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom
Yeah,
in
yeah, and
this
it takes
series.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's pretty cool. So they I'm just reading the opening of this, and it says the Marvel universe is filled with an infinite array of beings: humans, aliens, heroes, villains, gods, mortals, monsters, creatures, and everything else that falls in between the cracks of reality. This is but a mere glimpse at what happens when two worlds collide. Friend or foe, ally or enemy, you decide with Captain America and Volstagg. That's a pretty cool concept.
it is, yeah.
Do you want to take the listeners through the cover?
Sure, I absolutely would. It's a pretty cool cover. It's got the two title characters on there, both Captain America and Volstagg. In the foreground, we have Cap, and he is looking right at us with a look of determination on his face, and he has just chucked his shield right at us. So we are seeing this just a moment after he's released it, and it is flying toward us, and behind him we see Volstagg. And Volstagg is a big guy. You know, he's Asgardian, and so he's attired as you might expect an Asgardian.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got this long flowing red hair, and he's wielding his sword, which I got to be honest with you, Rick, I can't pronounce it. It is the Brandhard Exerger, I believe is the pronunciation, but my Viking is a little rusty.
Uh huh.
But he is, in the process of, swinging that sword around toward us. And he also has this look of fierce determination on his face. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just a great juxtaposition between Cap and this legendary Asgardian warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I really like Cap's determination on his face as he's throwing the shield and the shield coming at you. And it's done by Terry and Rachel Dodson, which is a husband and wife team, and uh, love Terry Dodson's drawings. Yeah, he draws beautiful women too.
I
I
thought
think
you were
that.
going to say he draws beautiful utility belts because Cap is sporting a fabulous pouch utility belt
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
cover.
it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
I probably need to reach out to him, see if I can get him to a Madam Hydra.
yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Um, so getting into the creative team. So we did talk about the writers, J. Michael Straczynski, and that is it's interesting because he is coming off of his run on Captain America, right? I think he did a little over a year and a half, and so then he's got these series of one shots with these really odd pairings. And if you want to hear a really good interview, we had J. Michael Straczynski on the show back in episode 178, which came out about a year and a half ago, right around the time Captain America #1, the new series came out that he was writing. So check out episode 178 for that discussion. Um, but anyway, I'm really he knows Captain America, but he also knows Volstagg, right? Because he was a longtime writer of Thor. So back in 2007, he launched a brand new Thor series, and that went for a couple of years. I want to say, well, at the end of 2008 is when so maybe about a year and a half or something like that. So he obviously did the character Volstagg and was very familiar with them. And there'll be a couple of things that crop up in this story, I think, that is a nod to not only his Thor stories, but also other Thor stories. And we'll talk about that. Um, So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool that he's got this character that he obviously has a strong interest in Volstagg, and also talking about Volstagg a little bit. So as I mentioned, his first appearance. Um, well, he actually, I don't know, he has like two first appearances, if that makes sense. So in um, August of 1965, um, Journey into Mystery 119, but that takes place in a different time period. His first appearance in modern Marvel was in Thor 128, which came out in May of 1966. So some people, I mean, I think universally it's known as Journey into Mystery 119 as his first appearance, but some people like to think of it as Thor 128. Anyway, you mentioned on the cover, he's a big man. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
According to the things that I have here, he is 6'8". Okay.
Okay.
Now, you weren't talking about height when you said he was a big man.
No, but I
Uh,
would have guessed I would have guessed taller than 6'8".
okay. Well, it depends
Yeah.
on the artist, right?
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah.
So for reference, Steve Rogers is 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
Uh, take a guess on his weight. I think we all
Uh,
kind of know, right?
I couldn't tell. 235.
Very close, 240.
6'2", 240. Yeah. We're very close.
Yeah. Thor is 6'6", but 640 pounds.
Ooh, a little denser, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Volstagg, as I mentioned, is 6'8",
Yeah.
2 inches taller than Thor. Take a guess at what his weight is coming in
1020.
at. You're a little shy, my friend.
Really?
1425.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. He's a dense man, and well, that explains his appetite.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you gotta carry around that weight, you're gonna need some calories.
it's a big furnace. Yeah, it's a double boiler.
Artist on this is Bernard Chang. Now, Bernard, this doesn't look like Bernard's work to me when I was reading this because I was expecting something else. Now, Bernard, I remember him from his early days with Valiant in 1993. He was doing a couple different issues, and then he kicked off this series called Second Life of Dr. Mirage, and that's really where I got to know him
Hmm.
in 93, 94. Um, and then he's done, uh, you know, not a lot as you would think. Like it, from 1993 to now, he's only done about 175 stories.
Oh wow.
Um, so he did a bunch in the 90s for Valiant, and then some DC, and then he kind of didn't do anything for like 7 years, and then he came back to DC and done it. So he's mostly done DC and Valiant. He's done some Marvel, but it's mostly been like one shots and miniseries. This is, as far as I know, this is the first time he's drawing Captain America.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Well, he's done a great job.
Then the colorist is Marcello Maiolo. Letterer is friend of the show, Joe Caramagna. And editor is Will Moss. All right. We start off, and I'm on Marvel Unlimited, so
Okay.
I'm gonna get my page numbers wrong. I'm sure if anybody's following at home. Um, but we open up, and it's not a splash page. It is a multi-panel page, and it's taking place in Berlin, Germany. And there's it's a car chase scene in downtown, and there's this small car that's weaving in and out of traffic, and there's a police car following it, and Captain America on his motorcycle, and he is got a determined look on his face with a shield on his back, gripping the handles, and um, that brings us into this ongoing chase scene that just starts with a bang. Suspect sighted. We are in pursuit, herding him towards your position. Copy that. We have to stop him before he can reach the opera house and detonate the bomb. Can you get there in time? Yes. And then we see a close up of the bomber, and he looks a little maniacal. Bob,
He does look crazed. Yeah.
how much time's left on the clock?
2 minutes, 54 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like 2 minutes 64
It
seconds to
does look
me.
that. But is that like.
And I was hoping maybe it was like some sort of military thing. You could tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it does say 64, but I just didn't want to admit to that because it makes my head hurt.
Right. Um, and next page, the police are chasing, and we get to see the inside of the car and the driver. How would you describe the driver, and what is he wearing, Bob?
uh, he looks like he's wearing a members only jacket, Rick. And he's got driving gloves on. You know those great fingerless driving gloves? You need
I
those.
had those
Did you?
gloves back
Yeah.
in the day. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You
In
got to
the
grip
in the
that
late
wheel.
80s,
Yeah.
mid to late 80s. Oh, I had those. I also used them. They were the same ones I took to the gym.
They pull double duty for you?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
And there's a bag full of explosives. It looks like dynamite strapped to some
Yeah.
sort of countdown clock, which no longer says 264. And now it says like 105 or something.
Yeah. We lost some time there.
We have lost some time.
Yeah.
Cap is redlining it as he's chasing on the motorcycle, and he all of a sudden hits a sports car. Um, it looks like it wasn't parked, and he jumps it, like goes over the hood, and uses the motorcycle to jump in the air, and he is it looks like 2 stories in the air, and so that he can land on top of the bad guy, and then out of nowhere, what happens, Bob?
Boom. You see this? The bike is enveloped in this rainbow of colors.
It's like the Skittles.
It is. Taste the rainbow.
And next thing you know, next page, he's on the Rainbow Bridge going to Asgard, and he lands pretty uncomfortably.
Yeah, it's a lot of bap, 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 bam.
And then Cap says, "Ow." But who is it that greets him?
Oh my goodness, it's Lady Sif.
Yeah. And so she's, what would you say she's wearing, Bob? How would
Well,
you describe it?
it's a delightful combination armor and mini skirt ensemble. But it's in a crimson and a gold combination, and she's got her helmet on. Which I don't know. I couldn't describe an Asgardian helmet, but it covers her cheeks and wraps across her forehead with a big red ruby stone on it, or garnet
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but and then a big fur collar and cape to go along
Mm-hmm.
with it. It's very becoming.
Yeah, it is.
It's fetching.
Would you say it's skin tight anywhere, Bob?
No, it seems relatively. It's fighting comfortable, Rick.
So Lady Sif extends her hand to the fallen Captain America, who's now in a demolished bike that has got multiple pieces all over the ground. Apologies, Captain. Crossing the Rainbow Bridge at high speed, your inertia continued unimpeded to this end. I feared that if I separated you from your vehicle, the impact would be even worse. That's not my main concern right now. Wait, you can do that? Separate a rider and his vehicle? Yes, the system is very precise. Why? Before we get to the next page, can you explain to the listeners what device is Sif talking about?
Well, it's the Bifrost, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's what colloquially known as the Rainbow Bridge. It allows the Asgardians to travel to any of the nine realms.
Mm-hmm. And then she uses a sword, right,
Yeah,
to
right.
make it work.
It's like a key. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to what the scene we just left, and the police are chasing this vehicle. Where did Cap go? I don't know, but it's up to us now. And they're chasing. And how much time is left on the bomb, Bob?
Oh my gosh, it's down to 34 seconds, Rick.
And the driver sees these stairs leading up to the opera house and zooms up the stairs. Oh my God, we're too late! And he jumps the stairs, and his vehicle is in midair, and he yells out, "Die, all of you!" And then what happens?
Well, and the same thing happens to him, Rick, that we saw happen to Cap. We see this rainbow array of colors around him, but it's just him floating in air.
And then the next thing you know, he hits the building.
I love this, right? Because you hear like boom,
And
as
then the
he's
next panel, you see him smashed up against it with his face kind of plastered against it. And the people in the opera house kind of turning to kind of, what was that? And then you see him start to slide down.
yeah, and I love the sound effect is squeak.
Where did you send the car? Your moon. Good. At least it won't do any damage up there. And then we cut to the next panel. What do you mean the LRV-3 has been in an accident? The lunar rover hasn't even moved since 1972. How could it get in a collision with a black four-door late model sedan, which exploded on impact? Have you been drinking? Not yet, but I have plans. And we cut back to Sif, who is picking up pieces of the motorcycle. I will have this repaired within the hour. Thanks, Sif. I should probably talk to Thor, find out why he brought me here. Is he outside? Not exactly. And he goes outside of the Bifrost Bridge reception area, and he turns to hear a gigantic burp. Welcome, Captain. Volstagg? I thought we might dine here in view of the stars and skies and galaxies. But the air along the Rainbow Bridge is always unusually crisp. Something to do with free eons, perhaps, or ozone, which makes me rather peckish. So I started without you. Also finished without you. Might be some bread left somewhere. And who do we see, Bob?
Well, this is Volstagg. So he's seated on what appears to be a picnic cloth spread out on the ground, arrayed with all sorts of empty dishes and bones. And he's drinking out of a very large goblet, and he looks quite satiated.
Yes, and there's a whole bunch of kind of empty bowls and glasses and plates around him. No matter. We shall adjourn to a more lofty venue where you can change into something less garish. And then he takes the uh, the picnic blanket, as you mentioned, with
Yeah,
everything on it, and he just tosses it over the bridge.
tosses it right off the Bifrost. Yeah,
And Cap looks at it, and he's not happy. You know what I would have done? I would have said something.
yeah, pick that up.
Yeah,
And who knows where it's gone,
I know.
right?
Yeah, that's one thing about I cannot stand is littering.
Yeah.
Cannot stand it. I I I guess it was beaten to me as a kid, but there is absolutely no excuse for littering. It is just pure laziness, but to me, it's worse. It is a complete rude and disrespect for wherever you are. And I just I don't have any patience for it, and I get angry about it.
Do you look at them in a single tear rolls down your cheek
Maybe
as you
that's what
see
it was. Maybe it was the 1970s
Iron
TV
Eyes?
the
Was it Iron?
PSA commercial.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do. That
Yeah.
probably had a big deal to
Do you
do
remember
with it.
those? I remember those. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I show those to my class. Actually, I show a couple of those to my class at one point in the classes I teach,
Mm-hmm.
because we talk about some of those issues. And of course, I point out that that guy was not an American indigenous person; he was Italian. Uh,
But
but
why would you do that, Bob? What's the point? What is
well,
the point? You are just taking it away from the message, and now all of a sudden they're thinking
yeah.
about that rather than the message.
Well, we talk about we don't go into detail, but we talk about how that was an ad that was generated by like the American Plastics Council to underscore personal responsibility, because at that time they wanted to have a greater ban on plastics production, and so they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure a way out of that. And the way to get out of the corporations from having to take action was to shift the responsibility to individuals to stop polluting.
Well, they should have done that regardless.
Well, they should have. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just I get angry and I will get on a soapbox and I will preach and yes, I will judge. I will tell you right now, there is no reason. There is no reason for someone just throw something on the ground.
Yeah. Well, not in our society, right? Because you have receptacles everywhere,
Yeah,
right? You have systems to like
yeah.
collect that stuff and deal with it.
I
So
also get a little annoyed where there's a trash can and a recycling bin right next to each other, and
yeah,
someone just takes the recycling material and throws it in the trash.
right.
I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
how much effort would it take just to separate the two?
I've been trying to train my wife for years about what goes in the recycling bag in our
Mm-hmm.
pantry, right? And it's been an uphill battle. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I have a friend who, you know, we'll go to like a sporting event, and then we tailgate, and then there's like stuff outside, and he's like, oh, they have street sweepers for this,
Oh, right.
and
Same
I'm
guys
like,
who same guys who clean up after you in the movie theater.
yeah, it's like,
Right.
well, we're providing them a job. I'm like, oh my god, that mental gymnastics that you were doing right now,
Right. Yeah.
to justify your laziness
You're a
is,
wonderful person.
oh my god. Uh, so anyway, I feel like Cap has the same reaction that I do with that look on
Right.
his
He's got
face
that
when he's,
look.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but again, getting back to what Volstagg said, he said, we can change into something less garish, that we may talk and walk and act without drawing undue attention. And Cap says, sure. And then he says, this is your idea of less garish? And we turn the page, and what do we see, Bob?
Oh my gosh. This is this is I don't know if I've ever seen Cap dressed this way, but he is wearing Asgardian armor.
Mm-hmm.
And it is highfalutin Asgardian armor, right? So yeah, we know we understand that the big heavy gold emblazoned boots, reaching up to his knees, and the gauntlets on his wrists, but it's the rest of the attire. It is the what do they call those? It's not a loincloth. It's a I don't know. It's for lack of a better word, it looks like a loincloth, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
made out of gold, and it's got overlaid with armor and a breastplate with a large jewel in the middle of it, and these big gold fins, maybe even wings off his shoulders. He looks like an Asgardian warrior here.
He does. I've never seen Cap in something like that before, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's a little off-putting, but still,
yeah, and he's even got a helmet,
yeah.
right? He's got an Asgardian helmet to go with the attire. So
But he has his Captain America shield on the back. Now, here's what I don't understand. right? Because Cap's shield has the leather straps that go over his arms.
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure out how he fits that over his two shoulders, right? Because it's like a backpack, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
straps, I know they're adjustable, but have we ever seen Cap
Never seen him adjust
take
them.
the shield
Yeah.
off and then before he throws it, adjust the straps so they're not loose and flowing and hanging in the wind
Right.
as it's the projectile is
Yeah.
being thrown?
I think the only time we've seen that is in the MCU, right? Where he like puts the shield on his arm and he like rashes it down as tight as he can before he faces Thanos. But in the comics, I don't think we've ever seen him loosey, tighty, tighty,
Right.
the straps.
So that's why I never understood how, but I less understand it now because of the things that are on his shoulders. Like, how in the
Did he get him
world
over?
did you get those straps over these tall shoulder wings that he
Right.
has?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I do like the fact that he's got that Asgardian helmet, and that helmet has two
wings.
wings on the side
Yeah,
of it,
yeah,
So
mm-hmm,
that's cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bob, this is the thing we're having a problem with: is the
Mhm.
straps on his shoulders, not the rest of this,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
right?
Rest of it looks amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can suspend our belief, all of this, but the straps on the shoulders.
It's
All right.
Asgardian magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never discuss fashion or theology on an empty stomach, but you just ate. That was merely a amuse bouche. And then they sit down to a lengthy table. It's probably a 15, 20-foot table that is just filled with food. And they're sitting on either end of these long table in this long hall. So you want to tell me why you had Sif yank me halfway across time and space? Yes, I. One moment. Sitting is just a matter of geometry. There. A superhuman effort, to be sure, but happy to do it for a warrior as revered as yourself. Not coincidentally, it is in that vein that I require your assistance. I would call you to battle, Rogers. I appreciate the compliment, Volstagg, but why do you need me? Why not ask Thor or any of the other warriors three? Technically two, if I'm not there. Why not ask the warriors two? Because it is a private matter. This may surprise you, Rogers, but from time to time, on rare occasions, I have used the Rainbow Bridge for my own purpose. Does this have something to do with ordering pizza from Proxima Centauri? No, I've tried it. Not worth the trouble. I used it to visit a small world at the very farthest edge of the Ten Realms known as Trigon, home of the Trogonians, and my heart. I told myself that I was doing a service for Lord Odin by seeking out worlds with resources that could be of use to Asgard. But the truth was much simpler. I wanted to know what was out there, and I found more than I had bargained for. Oh, dear. And we cut to, um, I guess, a flashback scene where he's on Trigon and he's in the middle of a battle.
Blam! Whee! Bam! Ah!
The Trogonians were a peaceful people, born with a love of poetry, art, music, and beauty. They had fought few wars between because they were too reasonable to do otherwise. The invaders, the Krah, pursued war, cruelty, and death until they had made it a very different and deadly form of art. The battle had raged for nearly a year, and the Tragonians, on a path to surrender and death, prayed for the gods to help them, to send a sign, a vision, a warrior. I did not know the Trigonians, had never met their gods, but I knew a lost cause when I saw one. Any other would have fled, never to return. But I was born for such things. And you see him come face to face with the queen of this alien race and looks at her in her eyes. For I am an Asgardian, and we do not fear lost causes. We fight for honor. We fight for truth. And there was a part of my soul that knew, even on the first day, that I was fighting for her. And we see the battle. Sylvie became my companion, my good right arm in battle. And though she owned my heart the moment I saw her, she was never my lover, because I have a wife and children, and there is honor in such things, and because there was something sacred about her. I returned to Trigon as often as I could, sometimes bringing weapons and resources, and other times just bringing guidance and wisdom and my sword. Strangely, it was the latter, too, that most readily served the cause. They did not know of Volstagg the clown, Volstagg the bumbler, Volstagg the oaf. They knew only the hero who came to them that day. And I, for the first time, was free to be who I truly am, which is none of those things. Wait a second. Due respect. How are you not free to be who you are? I've seen you in action since the 1940s. A blink of an eye in the life of an immortal. And you've always been, well, you. No, I have only ever shown you what I needed to be, for you and for the others. To all things there is an order, and there is no less true for friends than it is for the comets and stars that pinwheel through the universe. And then we see an image of Thor and the Warriors 3. To all such groups there is the leader and the great heart. And they show Thor. The dark and serious one, and they show Hogan the Grim. The dashing and handsome one, and they show Fendrel. And the one who makes the others laugh. Is that true, Bob? Is that true in your circles? There's a leader with a great heart, and then there's the dark and serious one, and there's the handsome one, and then there's the funny one.
I do think that's true in many respects, Rick.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think those are templates, you know. What is what template is not the word I'm looking for, but do you know what word I'm looking for?
balance. I mean, it's like
It
just
is balance. Yeah.
complimentary.
They're archetypes.
Mm,
Archetypes.
I
That's
see
what
what you're
they're.
saying. Yes, yes.
Yeah. And
And which one have you fallen into, Bob?
that's a tough one, Rick. I mean, by virtue of rank, I've often been the leader, but I've also been the sort of the funny one who
Oh
like
yeah,
diffuses the situation.
are you sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. Yeah. Don't you know what it's like to laugh like
Uh,
that?
I wouldn't know. Well, and which of the four do you think I fell into, Bob?
Woo! Obviously the dashing and handsome one,
Obviously,
right? Thought we covered that ground,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, I've always been the funny one,
Yeah.
because I'm not the tall, strong one, and so therefore wasn't going to make the dark, brooding one, and I've been the leader, but yeah, usually I fall into that other role.
That's an important role, Rick. And I like that about the story so far. Right,
Yeah,
we're learning a little something about the importance of being the guy who is willing to not be the leader and to be the guy who takes the tension down and puts people at ease in the hardest of moments. So
it's funny you should say that, because one of the things my boss had said to me a few years ago, I guess during like a review, He said that I had the ability to read the room and get to be able to diffuse the situation, and usually, with humor or um, just some,
Yeah,
So I hear
I
what you're
get it.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I think, I you can learn to be a leader, right? But I think it takes a special sort of person to have that skill that you just mentioned. So
So we're learning a little bit about something about Volstagg. Of course, I did not know this was to be my lot, but then, who among us walks the path we believed as children was our sure and certain destiny? I trained with Thor himself, who I was honored to call friend. In his presence, I had dreams to become the fighter, the leader, the dashing one, the dark and brooding one. And then, well, our first battle was against the Ferris Wolf, and we almost did not survive the effort. We tripped over each other time and again in our desire to prove ourselves, to be the hero, to be the one. So I chose not to become the one. I became the other one. When we fought Mangog, the battle was fierce, and I suspected that Mangog had laid a trap for the rest at the end of a tunnel, where they would be ambushed. I knew that the fire was upon them, and they would not listen if I tried to warn them, so I used my size to block the tunnel, so they would be forced to go another way. I did as much in other battles, seeming to fall into the hands of the enemy, drawing off their forces and allowing the others to advance. In battle, you learn the importance of bringing down the biggest target first, so I became that target, that buffoon, that easy prey. Then taught them the error of their assumptions. But it was I who went into Hades and fought Mephisto for Thor's soul, and the stars themselves trembled. That was a day. And he takes a sip of wine. But I am no fool, and he tosses the chalice. I am Volstagg, of the Warriors Three. I am a mountain and a shield bearer, friend to Thor, Fandral, and Hogun, the mightiest of the mighty. I am an Asgardian. I bend to no one. I yield to no one. I bow to no one but my king. And I need your help, for the Krah have returned to Trigon. But why me? Why not Thor or the others? Because I would not have them know of my life on Trigon, and wonder why I have held this secret. But more important still, in the years since I led the Trigonians to victory, the Krah have studied the strategies and plans that I used to defeat them, and now they know how to turn the tide. The Krah know all my tricks, but they do not know yours. A world of innocence and a world of innocence. The life of she whose heart owns my own rests on the edge of a knife blade. Give me your hand, Steve Rogers, and help me to save them, please. Steve looks at him and grabs his hand. Now, there's one other thing I must ask of you. And then we cut to Trigon and we see, whoo, what a beast, Bob. How do you describe this one?
it's a it, uh, he's red and he's large and he's demonic looking and he's got dozens and dozens of razor sharp teeth and horns ringing his head, and he's sheathed in mechanistic armor with all sorts of weapons arrayed around this armor. I've never seen a creature that looked as fearsome as this, Rick.
I know, right? I mean, not only, I mean, the creature without weapons would be scary as all get out. And then you add this arsenal Yeah, the arsenal would put any predator to shame.
Indeed.
And the queen speaks to her troops. Hold the line. Volstagg will come. Sylvie, you have been saying that he will come. It's too late. It's no, never too late. Dearest. And then it's the two of them showing up at the bottom of the Rainbow Bridge. And Cap says a funny, Bob.
He does. Should one of us say ta-da?
Silence, mortal. You've returned. Yes, I have brought help. One who knows the ways of war even better than I. Ways that will surprise and defeat your enemies. The war will attend to itself. Come what may, live or die, I care only that you are by my side, and that I am by yours. And she takes his hand and kisses it, Bob.
And then holds it to the side of her face. I mean, there's no more loving gesture than that, Rick.
Sylvie. And then Volstagg turns to Steve. Keep the promise of which we spoke, Captain, for I fear I may yet weaken. I will. So, shall we? Yes. For Trigon! And he leads the soldiers forward in a battle cry with Steve by his side. Now, Steve has his Captain America shield in his right hand, but in his left hand, he's swinging a hammer. Not Mjolnir.
No, no, it
Not
looks
not Mjolnir,
not
but
Mjolnir. It looks a lot like Stormbreaker,
it
quite honestly.
does. It
Yeah.
does. It does have a little bit of look to it. Yeah. Trigonian historians would later write, and upon that day the tide turned. For 3 cycles the enemy crashed upon our defenses like waves upon a rock, but the rock held fast. Their bases were destroyed, their ships thrown down from the sky, their every strategy defeated by Volstagg and the one known only as his assistant. And that's a nice double page splash of them battling. And at the dawn of the 5th cycle, their ships departed for the stars. But not before great tragedy struck. And we see several of them swarming Volstagg. Where is Volstagg? My lady, there will be celebrations tonight in his name. Oh, and yours as well, of course. And I hope that this time he will not turn from my kiss. And I'm sorry, my lady. The mighty Volstagg is dead. What? No, this cannot. I killed by an enemy dagger during his last struggle against 20 of the enemy. With the last of his strength, he picked up all 20 and dove into the reactor of one of their ships, causing it to explode. It was this act of mad courage that led the crowd to depart. And you saw this with your own eyes? I did, my lady, but he was too far for me to reach before the end. Then he is gone. Yes. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to. No. There is nothing anyone can do. She must be free to find love on Trigon with someone deserving of her affection. But I cannot walk away from her on my own. You must do this for me, Steve Rogers. You must do this for both of us. So now we know what Volstagg asked of Steve off panel. Are you sure you're going to be all right? In time. But that day is not this day, or tomorrow, or the next. I will bear this for as long as I must until I can forget her. You really think that'll happen? No. Ah. But one day perhaps my heart will let her go. That will be enough. we should get your uniform. And before I go, a question. I noticed ever since I got here that you're not talking the way I'm used to hearing you talk. Very, I don't know, Shakespearean. Why? We learn how to speak a language from the ones who teaches us. Thor and many other Asgardians learned yours from a mortal we brought here many years ago. He said his name was Chaucer. Who's Chaucer, Bob?
The author of the Canterbury Tales, Rick.
And you? Where did you learn it? And then we see the next page where we hear Volstagg learned how to perfect his English. Are you sure this will work? Of course, Ben. Consider it my parting gift before I return home. And who is it, Bob?
It's Benjamin Franklin, Rick.
Yeah, and it's Volstagg wearing a hat very
a, tri-
similar. It
a,
looks like
tri-
it's
a tricorner hat.
yeah. It might even be uh, Benjamin Franklin's
It might
because
indeed, yes.
yeah. Let the wind carry the kite and the key, and you will discover something astounding. Well, if you say so. So just over by this tree, then? Yes, exactly. And then Franklin walks off panel. Good fellow, that one. There, there, and he points to the sky. And there's a big noise
Boom.
and a big flash of light. And we see Benjamin Franklin come back on panel, and uh, he looks like the
Singed.
Wile E. Coyote coming back from being hit by lightning.
Yeah, he's missing a shoe.
Yeah,
He's all singed. Yeah.
I've discovered something astounding. Forsooth. I speak as my friends do because one always wishes to fit in with one's friends, and Volstagg, long have we sought thee. Who is it, Bob?
It's Thor and the Warriors too.
With an extra horse.
Indeed.
'Tis true. We visited every tavern, bar, and empty bed in Asgard suited to a scoundrel and layabout, and found you nowhere. Pray explain how you come to find me nowhere when nowhere does not exist, and yet I do. I am fresh, and blood and sinew, and brr, little bits left over for breakfast. And Thor looks at him. Well, if we may tear you away from thy indulgences, perhaps you would deem to join us in defending Asgard against a foe that stands before her esteemed gates. Indulgences? The Lion of Asgard stands, and he gets up on the horse, perhaps crawls a bit. At thy service, let all who see me quake in fear. Oh, of this we have no doubt. And who is this then? Another in search of ale and food and noisome pleasures? And they look at Steve, but they don't recognize him in that Asgardian armor. Him? No, no, no. No, he is merely a friend. Onward to blood and glory, and let he who first cries surrender be fed to the frost giants. And his horse goes up on its hind legs and probably makes some sort of noise, Bob. And then they run off. I feel bad for that horse.
He's a stout horse, though.
1,425 pounds there,
Yeah.
man.
That's an Asgardian horse.
Yeah. And Steve lifts up his helmet and watches him ride off. And he refers to Volstagg as the Lion of Asgard. And then we, I guess, move a little bit of time ahead, and we see Steve back in his uniform. He's got the shield on his back, and he's got the motorcycle there, and he's about to get on it, and he's talking to Sif. Thanks for fixing her up. I made some improvements. I'll bet. Thank you for helping him, for helping both of them. I was glad to be able to do it. Thor says you can see everything. How is Sylvie? I mean, is she okay? And she uses her powers to look on Trigon. And what does she see, Bob?
It's Sylvie, and there's a man standing next to her. Perhaps maybe it's someone that she now loves, or a family member, but it's in a shining city, and there is a gigantic statue of Volstagg that they're all looking towards.
And she looks at Steve and says, she will be fine. Good. Thanks. Since driving it didn't go well last time, should I walk the bite out? Since driving it didn't go well last time, should I walk the bike out or no, you may ride it away. That is one of the improvements I made. And the others? You'll discover with time. He's a good man, Volstagg. Yes. Keep an eye on him. I see all. Right. Take care, Sif. Ride safe, Captain America. Ride true. And the last page is a big old splash of Cap on his motorcycle riding down the Rainbow Bridge. The end. What'd you think, Bob?
I love this story, Rick.
Yeah, what was it about the story you
Oh
loved?
man, there's so much about this I love. I love that we get like a deep dive into Volstagg as a person, and we see a side of him that doesn't normally get seen. And I love the fact that like he asked for Steve's help, and like Steve didn't even hesitate, right? I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
somebody said, "Oh, by the way, there's this planet. It's got a bunch of people on it, and they're being attacked by this like ravenous like military force. You want to go help me? Can you come help me?" Doesn't even hesitate, right? He like, I'm in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. There's just so much about this. I mean, it's such a beautiful story about friendship and about being the best version of yourself, and I love it.
Yeah, and I like it for all those reasons as well. And then also, we get to see a side of Volstagg that is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically saying that he's been playing the fool all this time. A bit of a retcon, if you will. But and he actually even uses some stories of like the time he got caught in the
Yeah,
in the entranceway. He did that on purpose to protect his friends.
yeah,
um yeah, a bit of a stretch, but I like the idea behind it.
I do too.
And yeah, I enjoyed that. And there were some other parts I guess we'll get into as we go through favorite panels and things like that. um, yeah, I liked it. And the other thing too is, which is interesting, if people want to check out, there are many other one shots that we talked about. You already mentioned the Nick Fury and the Fing Fam Foom, but there's some others here that are pretty interesting. So Hulk and Doctor Strange, okay, well, maybe that's not going to be too weird, right? They're in
Yeah,
the Defenders
sure.
together.
Yeah, they know each other.
And then you've got, but Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon.
Okay, that's a mashup I didn't expect.
Yeah. And then you have Ghost Rider versus Galactus,
Okay.
and and then you have Spider-Man versus the Marvel Universe. So these are all pretty interesting. I, I, but I don't know. I mean, I think the two most like weird, like unexpected, is Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon and Cap and Volstagg.
Sure. Yeah.
Although the Nick Fury and Fing Fang Foom is,
I think he might have gone up against Fin Fang Foom before, if I recall, at some point. I don't know.
mm, Anyway, cool concept,
Yeah.
fun story, and be interested to check out the others.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. I go first.
Okay.
Favorite panel. I'm gonna get this all screwed up because I'm on Marvel Unlimited here, but I'm gonna go with page 8, where the guy slams up against the window and then slides down.
Right.
Right. I don't think that that would have happened in real life. I think it would have ricocheted off the glass
Yeah.
because of that inertia. If it
Right.
didn't break the glass, right, he would have
Right.
bounced, I
Sure.
think.
Yeah.
But it's comical,
It is.
and I would gonna, and you just don't see that in a Captain America comic. So
Yeah.
therefore, I wanted to do something different, and that's why it's my favorite panel.
Yeah. It's a very Wile E. Coyote,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. We've seen that a few times, right? Yeah. How
I
about you?
love.
What's your favorite panel?
Well, it's a couple pages earlier than that, Rick. It's when Cap lands on the Bifrost on his motorcycle and crashes. It's that third panel, the middle panel of the page,
Uh,
where
he
you
says,
see
"Ow."
that. Yeah, that's the one. I love that panel. It's very plain. You just see a wreck of a motorcycle. You don't even see Cap, and you see the word bubble, and it says "ow." And I
But
love this.
how it says it, right?
It's how
It's
it says it.
it's like almost like lowercase,
Right.
and like it's just a quiet kind of ow,
Yeah.
not like a scream.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's just a reminder, that Steve he's a human being, man. He may be a
yeah.
superhero. He may have these, enhanced powers, but he still feels pain. And that was a painful crash. And so, yeah, I love
Hmm.
that one.
What's going on your T-shirt?
Oh, let's see. T-shirt. It's got to be that last page, Rick.
No, no,
Yes.
no, no,
No, it has to be that
no.
cap on the Bifrost. Riding easy. Yeah, that's just, man, it doesn't get better than that,
It doesn't. And
right?
I mean, I'm actually wearing a cap on a motorcycle T-shirt in honor of this story tonight. But no, you stole that from me, and I don't have a backup.
Oh,
But I had a secondary reason why I would want to put that on the T-shirt.
yeah, go for it.
Well, I mean, it's the Rainbow Bridge.
It is. It is the
Yeah,
Rainbow Bridge.
yeah. And I think that would look cool on a T-shirt,
It would.
and I don't think you would be able to wear it down in Florida.
You'd be surprised what I wear when I go grocery shopping on Sunday afternoons in Florida, Rick. my
uh,
wife my wife makes fun of me because I have a whole array of t-shirts with controversial say I don't wear my Marvel ones. I have controversial statements, and I wear them to the supermarket in hopes that somebody will
Come
say
on,
something to
somebody
me.
just look at me funny.
Yeah, and nobody ever does. Usually the checkout people say, "Hey, I love your shirt," but nobody ever like gives me a stink eye
Mm-hmm.
or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hope springs eternal. There's
Ah,
always next Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a backup to put on
Cover's
a
nice.
T-shirt.
Cover's nice, Rick.
I'm not putting Volstagg on my T-shirt.
My backup was the Warriors 3
Mm-hmm.
plus Thor. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
page that was. Page 16, right? It was that three
Mm-hmm.
quarters. I thought that was a great page. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have any Thor t-shirts or Asgardian t-shirts, but I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because this page talks about, those different archetypes in a friend group. And you have a friend group when you're in high school,
I'm
Rick?
not putting that whole thing on my T-shirt though.
I love it. No, I don't have to have the people at the bottom, but just the four Asgardians. It got me thinking about like my friend group in high school, right? And like they had all those players. But Lumpy was sort of the Volstagg, right? And then
Did you
yeah,
really call him Lumpy?
that was his nickname, Lumpy, right? And
Did he
so
like being called Lumpy?
I don't know. He was lumpy, and he slimmed right down after. Fun, great guy, great guy. Love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he uh, he accomplished. He's accomplished so much in his life. So really super proud of him. But the Fendrel the dashing. There was a guy, Danny. Danny was sort of Fendrel the dashing guy. And then we had, sort of Tom and Jim and the others. They were sort of grim. And I got to, I was sort of the leader of the friend group. But like they're archetypes. Yeah,
Mm,
and I think
mm-hmm.
many people can identify with that,
All
especially.
right, Bob. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm putting on a
I was
t-shirt.
trying to like, I was trying to
Yeah,
try to give you time, man.
yeah. I gotta tell you, man. All right, I'm going to go on page 9 of the Marvel Unlimited, and it's going to be a horizontal image, and it's a very vast bottom panel, and it's Cap standing there, and you just see from basically just above the chest up, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got the shield on his back, and there's a large burp, and it says "Welcome, Captain." That is what I'm putting on my t-shirt.
All right. Well, okay. You got to have something. That you might as well have that.
Uh,
That's a good one. All
all
right.
right,
I'm
my time
surprised.
capsule. I
All
get to
right.
do that
All
one.
right. Do the time capsule.
All right, I am doing. I think it's page 10 or whatever. It's the very first appearance of Captain America. I should say Steve Rogers in the Asgardian uniform.
All right.
That's a first, and therefore belongs in a time
All right.
capsule.
That's fair. That's fair.
What about you?
I'd like to say this is the first meeting of Volstagg and Steve, but I don't know if it is. And I
No,
was
he's
not
met him
going.
before. Yeah.
Has he? I don't know where.
I
But I wasn't going to take the time and look through every appearance of Volstagg to try to triangulate this.
But I
So,
think probably, I mean, at the very least, it was Siege.
oh, you're right. But
You
I
know,
don't know if they
yeah.
cross paths in those books. But in any case, it's the first appearance of the Trigonians, and that's a little special for me. I got super excited when I saw the Trigonians, Rick, because
Mm.
I confused them with the Trigons. And are you familiar with the Trigons? Did you ever read the Trigon Empire?
No, I had not. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. It was the first comic I ever read as a kid
Hmm.
back in the, gosh, it had to have been around 1977, maybe 78. And they
Mm-hmm.
were published as comic strips in British magazines, the Trigon Empire, the rise and fall of the Trigon Empire. And they went from about 1965 all the way up to like 1982. And I got a collection that was published in a book. I think we got it like Barnes and Nobles or something around the late 70s. And man, it sucked me in. And it was about this Trigon Empire on this planet, and it was sort of based on Roman, mythology. And I still have that book,
Oh, wow.
but it was like the first comic I was ever exposed to.
How about
So
that?
yeah, so the Trigons remind me of the Trigons.
The only Trigon I'm familiar with is Raven's dad from the Teen Titans.
All right,
His name is Trigon.
okay, well there you have it.
Hmm.
So, well, this is like I think we did pretty well for the time capsule considering.
Sure did.
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised that you went with a first of something. Usually you don't. You usually go with a cultural thing.
yeah,
That's kind of my thing, but
yeah.
you know.
Well, it is. It's only because it reminded me of the Trigon Empire and how much I loved that as a kid. I reread that thing over and over and over and over again.
Just getting back to the story though, there was something I found a little, I don't want to say off-putting, but
Okay.
out of character.
Uh huh.
Uh, Steve lying,
He did. He did lie.
and then he doubled down on the lie when she said, like, "Did you see it with your own eyes?" And he
Yeah.
lied even more. Now, I there's no argument saying that it was a good lie, right? It was for a good reason with a good result. Um, but it did seem slightly out of character.
Yeah. It's a good. I knew you were going to bring this up, and I was wondering about it as well because it does stand out, and it's. I guess it's one of those things where there is a. I hesitate to say this because this may not qualify, but there are occasions when there is you have to triage your principles, right? And but I think there could have been another way
Yeah.
right, to deal with this situation. This wasn't one
Hmm.
of those situations where like, oh, you have to lie to save someone's life, right? This was just a lie to
Save someone's feelings.
save someone's feelings.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'm sure my wife does it all the time when she says, "No, you look good."
right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like Steve would have challenged Volstagg to be honest with her,
Yeah.
and that honesty is the right way to go, and it's not the easy path,
Right.
but it is the right path. And I feel like that was missing a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I that stood out to me as well, and yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully, I'm glad you brought it up.
Hmm.
It is not what we would have expected from Steve.
Hmm. True. Uh, all right. I know I mentioned next episode we got a guest coming on,
Yeah.
and this is he actually is a patron of the show. He is a super soldier patron, and he has been on the show before. And that is my art nemesis.
Yes.
Alberto Gonzalez is joining the us next episode to talk about his growing Captain America original art collection. And man, this guy, he puts me to shame as far as the amount, quantity and quality of his Captain America art collection. And I call him my art nemesis, not arch nemesis, my art nemesis, because we often are battling for the same Captain America art. And let's just say I don't come out on the positive side too often.
yeah.
Sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
not too
Yeah. I definitely gotta ask if he's keeping score. So
often. You know what? That's the thing. We're putting it out there to our listeners. If you have questions that you feel I should be asking Alberto, just let me know. And
mhm.
if you think there's some questions that Alberto should be asking me, uh, like, oh, I don't know, Alberto, do you ever feel guilty about stealing opportunities from
Yeah.
Rick? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
enjoy making Rick cry?
right. Uh, anyway, but it should be a fun conversation. Albert's a great guy,
Mhm.
and I can't wait to hear. I can't wait for our listeners and our viewers actually to see his amazing art collection. So maybe this will be a good move for you to tune into our YouTube channel or maybe do the Spotify video because some really cool art.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. He's definitely got a museum's worth.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bob. Any final closing words before we conclude?
I don't think so, Rick. I'm just super excited to see you again next week. Same time, same place.
All righty. Well, he's Bob Lucius. I'm Rick Verbanes. And if you don't mind, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. It's an easy thing to do. If you're listening right now and you haven't subscribed on that channel, just, yeah, go ahead and do that. Or, give us a thumbs up. That always helps. And we certainly do love your comments as we read James' comment earlier today. So please continue to send those. We really do enjoy them. And that'll about do us for today's episode. So thank you for listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.